Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have some juicy news for us today. I'm very happy. I'm super excited. For some leaks came out detailing some reveals coming over the next week from Nintendo and other third parties. And I have here in front of me a list of those games and the companies they come from. So I'm excited to go over this with you guys today. I've watched several videos between yesterday and today detailing what people think that these reveals might be, what these games release might be. Some of them make sense, some of them I would not question. Maybe I might throw an additional game in there that I might think would be a good idea or could make sense. But there are some predictions that just downright don't make any sense to me. And so I really wanted to do this video and go over what I really think some of these third-party developers might be releasing on the Switch. Okay, first up, we've got 3 Bethesda games coming to the Switch, one of which is a Switch-only game, 2 of which are multi-platform. Now, the 2 multi-platforms, kind of an easy guess. Obviously, one of those is going to be Doom Eternal. The second one, I could imagine potentially being a Fallout game. Now, whether that's Fallout 4 or maybe the first 2, I mean, look at what 2K is doing with the BioShock series. This system is perfect for all those last-gen first-person shooters that were really big hits. To have a handheld version, like, this is the best chance of that, and people want that. So if Bethesda was to give us Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, I think Switch fans would rejoice. As for a Switch-only game, I couldn't begin to guess. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But maybe we could be lucky here and see a game with Nintendo and Bethesda working on it together. I don't know. Very unlikely, but I just have nothing. I don't know what this one game only for the Switch could be from Bethesda. Next up, we got 2 games from Square, both Switch-only. Has me very excited. There are a lot of possibilities here, but I don't want to oversell it. The games that make the most sense to me are going to be Bravely Second and Bravely Default, just because Bravely Default 2 is on the Switch. Those games were already pretty. They would just need a little bit of pizzazz to clean them up for the Switch, and I think you'd have 2 very nice games. But I could also see both of those games releasing in a single package, which leaves a potential second game. Now, I'm going to insert my personal wants and needs as a gamer, and I'm going to say Mario RPG. And obviously not the Super Nintendo one. I'm talking about a remake or a sequel or something along those lines. Though we are getting Paper Mario relatively soon, but we still don't know if this game is going to be the grand epic that Thousand Year Door was. Or will it continue in the same path that the Paper Mario games have been going? Either way, I see no reason why a Mario RPG couldn't still exist within the family of Mario games. Next up, we have 2 games from Warner, 1 Switch only, 1 multi-platform. Multi-platform, I'm thinking probably one of the Batman games or the Batman trilogy or something along those lines. But possibly we could see Injustice 2? Maybe? I mean, I love the Switch. I would love to see more fighting games on the Switch that are competent and awesome. So this would be a nice addition. Now, as for Switch only, I can only speculate and I really don't have anything. I would love to be surprised by whatever they might have in store for the Switch alone. I just really hope that it's something special, something that turn heads, especially with Square. Square and Warner, the 2 of these companies, I would love to see them make custom experiences for it. The Switch is capable of beautiful things. Nintendo shows us this with every one of their consoles. First-party support is always so pristine. I would love to see some third parties really sink their teeth into the Switch and do some great things with it. Also, I could imagine one of these 2 games from Square being an RPG like Octopath, something that's, retro. Maybe it's Final Fantasy 3 or one of those Final Fantasies, even the original Final Fantasy, it doesn't really matter, but redone with those same kind of visuals in mind. Octopath was such a vivid merging of retro and current gen graphics. It was such a nice idea. I'd love to see more of that. I think we all would. And we don't need it to just be Final Fantasy. I could imagine Chrono Trigger getting this kind of a remake. Oh my god, that would just be unbelievable. Okay, next up we got 2 games from Ubisoft, 2 multi-platform games. I have no idea, and nor do I really care. I'd love it if they said Rayman 2 HD Remake, but I can only imagine that this is going to be some other Assassin's Creed garbage or some other cruddy port of a game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, that being said, there's a part of me that really, really, really hopes that they might... Surprise! Steep! You forgot we were going to put this on the Switch, didn't you? Like, yeah, we did. And we really don't need it anymore. I mean, you could have worked on a 1080 with Nintendo or something by this time. But either way, I will still accept that as someone who loves Steep. I will take a look at it. Doesn't mean I'm going to get it. I love Steep, but if it doesn't run and feel right, might have to pass. But I'm still hopeful that the Switch is capable of running Steep. At least one of the mountains. So we've got 1 game from Take-Two, and it's multi-platform. I don't really know what to expect, but I mean, we could assume that maybe The Outer Worlds is coming to the Switch. That doesn't seem like too far-fetched. And if we dig a little deeper into their catalog, maybe Kerbal Space Program? I mean, that could be a fun Switch experience. I could totally see it. But yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. We can all sit here and hope for The Outworlds. Moving right along, we've got 1 game from Capcom, and I think this is the one that really bugged me. A lot of people thinking that, they just brush over it. Capcom's probably just going to release a crappy version of Street Fighter or something along those lines. And I would not put that past Capcom, so I understand why people just brush over it. But I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, and Monster Hunter Generations is my favorite version of Monster Hunter right now. I love Worlds, it's a cool game. I haven't put a whole lot of time into it, but I love Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter, Capcom, and their relationship with Nintendo handhelds has been thus. The 3DS had 3 games: Monster Hunter 3, 4, and Generations. I imagine by this point, because this is still a 3DS game, I mean, it looks a lot cleaner, the resolution's a lot better, but it is still at its core a 3DS game. It is time to move on, so in my mind, it makes a hell of a lot of sense that they would be revealing. I mean, we're 3 years into the system's life. This sounds like the right time to reveal a new Monster Hunter for the Switch, only for the Switch. And I mean, yeah, this is a Switch-only game, so that kind of sparks the belief that this is going to be a Monster Hunter game. So I'm bracing myself for that. I don't want to hype myself up too much because that'll be disappointing. But at the same time, it makes so much sense that I could bet on it. And even if it's not a main branch in the Monster Hunter franchise, maybe it's Stories too. I don't know if you guys ever played Stories, but it was amazing. I haven't played it, but all my friends tell me about it and how much I missed out on a great game. But I would love to see Stories 1 or 2 come to the Switch. Oh, that would be lovely. Anyway, moving right along and to the final. This is where my feelers are coming out and I'm ready to make all kinds of predictions. We've got 4 mystery Nintendo games. Now, one of them, we've already heard leaks weeks ago about Nintendo working on releasing some HD remasters of 3D Mario games. The ones being mentioned, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. 3 amazing games that would be lovely to see cleaned up. But through these leaks, we've heard rumor that all 3 of these games would be coming in one package. That is legend. If it's like Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo only with 3D games, I'm gonna lose my mind. So that leaves us with 3 slots. So much potential here. I've heard rumors of Metroid Prime Trilogy. That takes up 2 slots. So we've got 2 games to think about, and Metroid Prime Trilogy only makes sense because Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. People need to know what the story is, people need to get affiliated with the gameplay style. Okay, so now we're down to the final two. Now, there's a lot of games that could fill these spots that personally I would love to see make a comeback. Nintendo has a utility belt out of this world with ideas, with games that are already existing. So yeah, there's a large list of games I would love to see make a comeback. Games like F-Zero, any of their sports games, Mario or not. 1080 Wave Race, Excite Bike, those were great games, but so were all the Mario sports games. Where's Mario Soccer? That is one game I would like to fill a spot with. We've had tennis, now it's time for the big show. Give us Mario Soccer, please. Now, the last game, this is going to be a difficult one because I honestly feel like Pikmin 4 makes a lot of sense. This is one of Shigeru Miyamoto's favorite games, and the last one came out in 2013. So yeah, it's time. I'd love to see what the Switch can do with a game like that, because Pikmin games have always been a benchmark for the system that it's on. And lastly, I would like to make some honorable mentions, because these are also games that I would love to see sequels for or new iterations in the franchise. So I'll start with Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus Uprising is probably one of the greatest games that came out on the 3DS. It had an amazing story. It's probably the highest level Nintendo has ever accomplished when it comes to just really nice voice acting, flow of game, story. Like it all was funny and cohesive, and it worked. It was so beyond what I had traditionally seen come out of Nintendo. And that is one of Sakurai's favorite games. He was adamant about finishing the game completely, not rushing it before getting onto Smash Bros. 3DS and Wii U. I thought that was very commendable. He clearly loves that franchise. And I could imagine getting kind of burnt out on making Smash Bros. Games and Kirby games, especially in the state that Kirby games are these days. They're not bad, they're just not very challenging. But that is a topic for another video. My point being that I could see Sakurai, now that Smash Ultimate is practically finished, starting work on a new project. Something different, something new. Maybe it isn't even Kid Icarus Uprising, but I would expect something new and different out of Sakurai in the year to come. Anyway guys, we've come to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think about the leaks. Are you excited about Nintendo revealing some new stuff? And also the third-party support looks to be incredible moving forward. I'm super excited to see what's coming to the Switch. I hope you guys are too. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.
Here we go!